Hi everyone. So it's Nicole Lynn from Flow, Floe, Facilitating Love on Earth. And I just want to welcome you and say hello if you're tuning into this day or night, afternoon, whatever the date is. Today is August 16th, 2023. But perhaps you're tuning into this at a different time of year or a different year altogether. That's fine too. So I just welcome you. So I want to share, again, I created the Mushroom Medicine Oracle deck, and it comes with a booklet, and it's in a complete self-tuck box set. And I just want to share a little bit about my journey and how everything is connected. So I'm an intuitive counselor, and I conduct what I call soul sessions and with humans, and it also has now moved into non-humans, which is how the Mushroom Medicine Oracle deck came into being, is doing soul sessions with the fungi. And I write for Pagan Pages Org magazine publication, and I do a column every month that talks about communing with our essence and what that means. And it really feels like it's a part of my life purpose to share what my journey has been like, maybe connecting with yours, maybe giving you insight or validation to your own experiences, or just helping you to understand that you're not crazy or weird, and that you can trust the nature of your being and how your expression moves and lives and takes in this life and experiences life uniquely through you. And so I want to talk about how our consciousness is non-localized. Our consciousness is not just contained within the body. It is in the body, and I believe we've taken our consciousness outside of our body a lot with religions and escapism and addictions. And so we've gotten really used to that. And so I work somatically, which means embodied. So I do believe it's important to also bring our consciousness into the body. I really feel like that's the portal. You know, the more we can be embodied with our consciousness, the more it can overflow. Like when we pour the cup and you drink and you drink and you drink and you drink until now your whole body is infused in this consciousness, and then it can overflow and pour out to your auric field around your body, and then it can keep expanding far and wide. So you can think of a child being born to in a healthy environment. It needs to get its nourishment from its parents, and it needs its safety and its love and that connection. And then slowly the child becomes curious of how its body's moving and its autonomy, and it starts to crawl and perhaps walk, and then perhaps go to school or go on play dates and roam around and experience life further and further and further away from its support systems. And that's natural evolution. So when we feel safe and we belong and we're connected, we naturally can overflow and expand and grow outward. So the difference is when we try too hard to go out and escape or disassociate, and now we have to try to come back too. That's a very different experience than when we feel that connection. We are embodied, and now through our safety and our comfort and our ease, we can expand. And with that expansion of understanding our consciousness is non-localized, which means we can travel with our consciousness like you do in the dream world. Your consciousness can go to a single cell in your body. You can do a meditation, a visualization, a shamanic journey, and actually travel to a specific part of your body or organ or cell and receive wisdom and insight. You can know what it is like to be alive there. You can travel to a tree and have your consciousness go and be embodied within that tree and get messages and insight and wisdom from having the consciousness go and embody the tree. You can do that with angels and guides and ascended masters. You can go to the Akashic records. You can go to the fungi, which is what I did when I created the Mushroom Medicine Oracle deck. You can go to plants, like many people do. You don't just have to ingest the plant. You can just go and bring your consciousness to go be and embody specific plants. You can do that with anything, the waters, the mountains, with anything. Again, it's infinite. It's non-localized. And yet, it's also here now in these bodies. And again, it's a very different experience to escape and constantly go outside of the body without having the knowledge and the integration within the body. You are alive in this world, in your body. You were born into a body. You are living and moving and walking and talking and feeling and sensing and seeing and tasting and listening all through a bodily experience, which is such an amazing gift, even when it's painful. And through being embodied, we can also be tapped into everything else that's embodied, everything else that is in this world. And it's beautiful to discover what's on this planet, what is a part of the earth plane as well. That is amazing because we're all a part of earth. Everything here has come from earth. And to embrace the galaxies, the universe, and to expand. And also, I just want to say, not get lost there. You know, we can travel and have these telepathic conversations, intuitive experiences, and like a tether, come back. You know, that's why in shamanism, we have the callback with the drum and the rattle. Or when you astral project or you astral travel or you go on meditations, you set a timer or you have a tether and you call yourself back to your embodiment. And it feels to me, through my experience, that our embodiment is what anchors us and helps us to actually have the integration. How we take care of ourselves, what we eat, what we drink, what we listen to, how we think, how we speak, what our behaviors are, what our home environment's like, what our relationships are like, how we take care of ourselves. That's part of the integration. I remember when I was so excited and going out to the woods and doing a soul session with every mushroom species and just having so much fun and being totally elated and connected and having these telepathic conversations. And felt like I was very untethered, and just, if I didn't have something that needed me to come back at a certain time, I could just get lost and be out there all day. And I remember the mushrooms saying no. Like, even if, let's say, I had 3 hours before I had to come back and do something in what we would call ordinary reality, the mushrooms would, after 1 hour, or between 1 hour and 1.5, they would say, okay, you're done. And I'd be like, oh no, I still have another hour. I still can play a little longer. And they'd say, no, you're done. Go home, do the dishes, make food, sweep your floor, vacuum. Like, do the mundane things, the ordinary things that we all have to do. Put away your laundry. Talk to the people in your life, even people you don't want to talk to, right? Engage with the people that are surrounding you. Obviously, it's a very different story if we're talking about abuse or neglect. So I'm referring to in a for the most part, a healthy environment. And so the mushrooms, day after day, they kept teaching me, you can't just live in these non-ordinary realities all the time. You can't just keep going and having fun and playing untethered. You have to bring the wisdom that you acquire here and bring it back into your form and into your thinking mind and your emotional body and your physical body and your energetic body and in your relationships and in your finances and in your health. So the integration is so important. It's not just escapism. It's not just fantasy. It's all of this amazing stuff and so much more. And the more that we can, go in the body and then travel and go out, the more we come back in too. I was just having a conversation with somebody about Kundalini energy and the coiled up serpent like energy that travels up your spine. And I hear a lot of people talk about this and even do guided meditations where they summon that coiled up snake energy at the base of the spine and they move it up through the inner channel of the spine, the central channel of the body, through your chakras. And then they just have it either the head of it just come out through the third eye or the crown, and they think they're done. But through my experience organically with the Kundalini energy is, sure, it has to travel up and come up, but then it doesn't end there. Then it has to circle back and come back down. And there's a lot of different really beautiful studies around, no different than the chemicals and the hormones that our body releases, like the stress hormones when we're under stress, and the dopamine, when, you know, the more happy, feel-good chemicals as well. But this energy that rises, there's this crystal that gets released, and then we bring it back down along the spine, the central channel of the body. And it's a full circle. Everything is always creating balance and harmony and equilibrium. And another really beautiful practice that is good. So there's another sacred geometry. It's called the torus field. And there's the energy of, like, maybe some of you have rooted down to the earth and connected, like you're rooted to the earth. And maybe a lot of you have opened up your crown to connect to the heavens or the cosmos. And so when you're rooted to the earth and connected to the cosmos or the heavens, it's like, how do we circulate that energy? And so you bring the energy up from the earth and up through the central channel of the body. And then, like the torus field, you overflow it like a fountain all around your body. And then it comes back up through the central channel of the body again. And then it overflows through the crown and circles around. And then your body exists within this ever-expanding infinite torus field that's connected to the earth and the sky. And so why am I sharing all of this with all of you? Because it's my life's work and my life experiences to share that we are more than what we think. We are, even what we see, we're more than what we see. We're more than what we feel. And telepathic, soul-to-soul, essence-to-essence communication is happening all the time. And our consciousness is within a body, but it's unbound to the body experience. And so it's both. And more we can learn to roam and experiment and explore the full spectrum of our experiences. And it's in that space that I believe we were all born into, and we all are sensitive, and we all have experiences around all of these things. And some of us have just retained, and maybe it comes more natural for some people to operate this way instead of constantly using their conscious critical thinking mind to evaluate everything and operate every day. And they just live in this mundane world where they forget there's miracles that are happening all the time. There's tons of things outside of your ordinary reality consciousness that you're overlooking or bypassing or unable to see or sense or feel because you're keeping yourself too closed off. And then there's other people that are too way out there, right? We've all met them. Untethered, they're way out there, spacey, ungrounded. They're having all these experiences or having all this talk, but totally ignoring the bodily functions and not integrated and walking what they're talking. You know, their talk is big, but every other part of their life is like falling apart. And so I share how we can continue to embrace and embody more and more of the wisdom that's available to us, the wisdom that is here, have these amazing telepathic conversations and know that we are having our own unique experience through our own bodily, through our own embodiment. You know, there could be 5 of us that go out and have telepathic communication. And then when we come back into our embodiment and we share what we've acquired and learned, there could be some similarities, but there's probably going to be a vast difference also, because our personalities are on purpose, and we all have personalities and filters, and we all are having our own embodiment. So even though consciousness is unbound, it is also contained within a perspective. And our perspectives can grow and change and shift and evolve or dismantle. And yet there's always still going to be some kind of filtration system in which we're going to perceive reality the way that we're perceiving it. And so we have to bridge the gap and have, like, it's literally like, you know, we have our left hand and right hand, and we bring it back and namaste or prayer pose and let them connect. You know, the abstract, ethereal, and the mundane life of form, and we bring them together. The same way we have a left and right hemisphere of the brain to create the full spectrum of the experience. Same way we have the left and right eyes. You know, it's like our bodies, if they're cut in half, it's like we have these 2 parts that go right down the center, and they come together to create our wholeness. And so it's with that I just pop on here and share a little message about things that people talk to me about and they're curious about and they want to explore and know more. And it's very much rooted in my work and in my personal life and me as a human, as well as the creation of the Mushroom Medicine Oracle deck. And it's all connected. Everything is always connected. So I share this with love. Bye-bye.